Our top story on the show, viewers. US President Donald Trump has urged Israel to allow every ounce of food into Gaza as he acknowledged for the very first time that there is real starvation taking place in the region. During a visit to Britain, the US president, in fact, contradicted Israeli Prime Minister after Benjamin Netanyahu claimed that it was a bold-faced lie to say that Israel was causing hunger in Gaza. Trump is under increasing pressure to intervene in the humanitarian crisis, with dozens of Palestinians having died of hunger in recent weeks. In a crisis that is being attributed by the UN and other humanitarian organizations to Israel's blockade of almost all aid entering into the territory. And in fact, let's play out shorter soundbite of Donald Trump. We come back and discuss more in greater detail, viewers.
Well, I want them to make sure they get the food. I want to make sure they get the food, every ounce of food. I think you want the same thing.
The big questions that we're asking on the show. First up, why do Netanyahu and Donald Trump differ on something as significant as which way is Gaza going, and particularly with regard to aid? The second big question that we're asking on the show: will recent aid inflow mitigate the situation that exists right now in Gaza, given the fact that the territory has been under relentless onslaught by the Israeli attacks, even as questions remain as to how long will Hamas allow this to happen? Next up, will Israel buckle under American pressure? That's a question that many have been asking, simply because at the end of the day, Donald Trump has been asking for some sort of a closure to this war that's been going on. That hasn't happened so far. Will this allow America to get that leverage over in Benjamin Netanyahu? Let's get in Omair Anas, who's joining us for more on this. He is a Middle East expert. Expect him to be unbiased and fair on this and not be speaking on one side of the issue. That's the hope, Mr. Anas, as you joined me live from Turkey. In terms of the situation that's unfolding right now in Gaza, one is the humanitarian aspect of it. The second is the fact that it does allow Donald Trump a bit of leverage, doesn't it, in terms of how he wants to end this crisis going forward?
Thank you very much. What is happening right now in Gaza and the way the Middle Eastern countries, especially Saudi Arabia, has taken an initiative to get Palestine recognized as a state by European countries, especially by France, has unsettled the Trump administration, because there is a clear departure between the European countries and the United States. And that is the biggest challenge for them. That is the real source of worry for Trump administration, and that is why Trump has clearly differed from Netanyahu on the issue of relief for Gazan people. What I think is that right now it is not about Palestine; it is about Netanyahu. As long as Netanyahu is in power in Israel, I think that there is no solution in sight for the Palestinian crisis, and there will come a day for the Trump administration when the Trump administration will clearly say that the solution can be done without Netanyahu.
It's also one thing to say that there is a humanitarian crisis, but to also label all of it on the door of Israel is also something that needs to be investigated in detail, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, Hamas is also, many say, exploiting Gaza right now and ensuring that the entire conflict gets prolonged instead of ending it.
Anyone who is watching television and the scenes from Gaza or any pictures from Gaza, they have complete common sense that Hamas is not in control of Gaza. It is Israel, it is Netanyahu, it is Israeli forces who are responsible for each and every action, each and every...
What about the hostages? Return the hostages, the war ends tomorrow.
And all the hostages which are in control of Hamas people, they are either in underground or they are in hideouts. So Hamas is not on the ground.
No, it can be wherever. The fact is, it is still sitting with those hostages, not releasing those hostages and allowing the war to extend. Why is Hamas not releasing all the hostages? The war will end.
Hamas, I think, that has expressed its willingness to release all the hostages more than once. Even
at conditions which are a deal breaker, sir. At conditions which are a deal breaker. Anyhow, the last thing I want to ask you again, you are a Middle East expert. let's try and be dispassionate about it and give a reasonable and reasoned argument. My final question to you is, how do you see this if aid is extended, aid is allowed, even there are many versions as to whether Israel is actually stopping the aid or not, even if Israel completely makes sure that more aid is there, the starvation of Gaza stops as is being perceived, how long do you think before this war actually ends?
As long as Netanyahu is there, there is no possibility of this war to end.
Okay, let's leave it there. As I said at the beginning of the discussion, I hope that you are unbiased. Not a word has come out in terms of Hamas, the fact that it is still holding on to those hostages, why that is the reason why this war actually started, and that's the reason why it's still continuing. Let's leave it for another day. Let's hope that you are a Middle East expert and not just an expert on one side of the story. Well, bottom line, viewers, as far as this issue is that there are two aspects to what is happening right now in Gaza. One is the humanitarian aspect. Even there are experts who say that there is not a blockade that is being done by Israel. Even if that is the case, humanitarian aspect is one side of this war. Second is that how is it that Donald Trump feels that he's going to end this war? This leverage that he may have over Israel, over Netanyahu right now with the aid issue could probably be that window of being able to provide some sort of a breakthrough to end this war. The grinding war has been going on since 7th of October 2023. It will end when the hostages are released, but the leverage that Donald Trump is seeking right now over Netanyahu could probably provide that breakthrough. Remains to be seen how soon that will happen.